Hello, everybody. This is Jillian. It's been a while since we've had our live, but we're back. We're back every Tuesday, and it's a new time, so it's kind of screwed up a little bit. So we're actually back to where we were when we first started our Good Health Talks. 8 p.m. every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 5 p.m. Pacific time. We will be doing the Good Health Talks. So tonight we have a special Good Health Talk. We're introducing the new Feel Good Again Reset program and website that has been keeping me busy for during our hiatus. So yes, we did not have any talks, but because I couldn't talk, I ended up working on a project alongside some of our coaches to make sure that we can help you feel good again. So tonight we're going to show you what we've been working on and give you a bit of a sneak peek about what to expect over the next few weeks about with our new plan for our Good Health Talk. So some of you, we ended up our series of immune health series, and we did a little bit of educational series, a few weeks ago, and we took a little hiatus just to get some regroup and go through some planning. And I'm excited about what's been happening over the last few weeks, and I'm really excited about what's going to be happening over the next couple of months, with what we're doing. So on that note, I do have a couple of slides. There's only like 8 slides, and then we're going to do some live interaction, and we're hoping to keep this short. So at 8:30, we stop the live, and then we close it for the Zoom Q&A. So if you're not on the Zoom, you won't get access to the private Q&A questions afterwards. Okay. So on that note, I'm just going to get started. And if somebody can just, if you can, monitor my Facebook wall, maybe monitor the Feel Good page if possible for any questions so that we can make sure that we can navigate people to the Zoom if they want to get on and ask us some questions. Okay. So just on that note, so welcome everybody again. Many of you already know me from, the Feel Good, Share Good and the Good Health Talks and Upline Pro and Pro Life and, helping people heal and Dr. Ronnie programs. And I've been working on reset programs for the last few years, and I'm really excited that tonight we're launching something good. And we are going to officially launch the actual programs, where we engage the community back in September. But right now, the website's live. Access as a founder to get into a private community is live now. So we have a few preview members in there right now, but if you're interested, tonight's going to be the night that I'm going to show you what it's all about. So on that note, we're going to go to the first slide. So this is our opening theme. It's about you belonging somewhere. For anybody who knows me for years and years and years, regardless of which company I've worked with as a trainer and as an independent, I've always talked about community. A community is where we have a place of love and belonging. It's where we learn and engage through open, accessible education, regardless of what it is that you're looking at. But for us, we're all on a wellness pathway. We're on a natural wellness pathway. So our community is all about educating and making sure people feel comfortable having those discussions and navigating a holistic way of healing. It's also where we share the stories. It's where we connect through those meaningful conversations. And some of those stories can't always be shared publicly for privacy concerns. And also because we want to be able to have people be authentic and real. We want them to be able to go somewhere and be able to share what they want to say without, embarrassment. So sometimes we need that place. And that's another reason why we created our Share Good and Health Stories and Solutions community. So it's also where we explore and navigate unique journeys and expert guidance and support, and we kind of learn from each other. We pull from each other's expertise. And for those that remember, I used to have these calls called the Real Talk shows, and those talks were about interviewing experts from different modalities so that we can learn from that. And some of those, people, those experts that were brought in on conversations are part of our community. They're now part of our extended support mechanisms. And that's one of the reasons why we want to kind of resurrect some of what we've been doing in the past so that we can grow more effectively. But our core philosophy with anything that I've been doing in the past, but even now with what we're doing with the Feel Good Reset program, is about community first. And then pathways are second because everybody's different. Everybody has a different journey. So tonight, I want to just kind of explain a few things that we have right now because people sometimes just need some clarity about what we have. We Under the Feel Good Share Good umbrella, there's three main communities. I want to explain them to you. The Feel Good Naturally community, that is public. That is somewhere we could share education. It's where we share some, live events. It's where we share value, we share tips, and we share some testimonials in there. And it's going to share some things that we can help you with when it comes to understanding where to learn. Rex, you had your hand up. Do you have a question or?
Sorry, I don't know if it's in my end, but are you sharing your screen now, Julian?
I thought I was I
Here, I
not?
can see her. It's on your end. I can
Okay.
see her front screen. It's good.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay.
I,
All right. So I
oh,
just got
you are back screen. Yeah, and you are in the front. That's how you want it, right? Yeah.
correct. Yes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so but you are seeing the actual presentation. I just want to make sure that can you see that?
All goods
Yes.
now, Julian. Thank you.
All
Yes.
right, good. You see it? Okay. So
Yes.
so just to confirm, you're seeing the three names of the community, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So yeah, so we have three communities, and I want to explain the differences between the two. The Feel Good Naturally is public. That's where we share and we share from there. We can all play in there and it's all public. Anybody, regardless of you not being a member of that community, can see what we post in there. Okay? Then the Share Good, that is private. And there's a reason why it's private, because that's where we have our personal stories. It's where we have those sensitive topics. It's where we have the deeper communications. And, this is why we go off camera, at a certain time so we can talk amongst ourselves. But we share some of those stories. We share some of those testimonials inside that private community. And that's where I think, is more powerful. The Share Good centric community is powerful. That is where we can, be a little bit more real about what we're struggling with. And we can help people with some support from each other. So that's why we created Share Good Health Stories and Solutions. So if you're not a member of those two communities, make sure you are a member, and we'll put the links in underneath these lives so that you can join those communities. But the third one is the one that we're launching tonight. And this is something that we've been working on for a while, in terms of discussion. And we do have other versions of it, but we're now kind of creating something, a funnel where people can go in. It's called the Feel Good Again Reset community. It's a private pathway community. It's where you get access to our coaches. It's where you get access to exclusive resources, exclusive support mechanisms. And it's not just driven about product. It's not about, we buy this kit and go off and hope for the best. We are offering, different ways of doing things, modifications regarding based on feedback we receive from you and based on the learnings that we've had over the last few years. Not everybody is ready to go do a 28-day program. Not everybody's ready to go in and do a, all liquid program. Somebody needs to have food. Somebody needs to have modifications. Somebody needs to have a consult to a practitioner. Somebody needs to, in some cases, a vegan, and they have different restrictions. So we can modify these things. We can help people reset themselves. And when I say reset, it's about getting them ready to receive a protocol that will help them on their pathway to healing. Everybody has to start somewhere when they're starting their journey, and I had a very, very incredible experience when I reset my wellness journey. And a lot of people that have gone through this have navigated and experimented, and they've finally found a solution that works for them. But it was about trusting the process, but also adapting and moving and allowing yourself to be your own advocate. And that's one of the reasons why we created this program, is that you're in a community. We're going to give you access to different processes and pathways that you have not seen before. So this is something unique, and we're going to talk about the website about that tonight. So on that note, I again, we have the communities, but you're here right now on a talk, right? You're on a Zoom talk. And we do this every Tuesday. Before it was like at 7 o'clock, but now what we're doing is keeping it to 8 o'clock. It seems to be the time frame that worked in the past. So we're bringing it back to 8 o'clock because it seems to be the right thing for everybody to do. So we're back to 8 o'clock p.m. But what we're doing is alternating so that we don't have so many different calls. Just so you know, just one good health talk a week. In the past, we had a good health talk and we also had a detox diaries talk, and they were on a Thursday. But to keep it consistent and keep the message clear is one Zoom, one meeting, once a week for talking about health topics. Except every week is going to be different. One is going to be publicly driven, and this is where we can go out there and celebrate the stories that we want to share and invite people to know what we know in a sensitive manner. We have to be careful whenever we go public, right? So, and it'll be topic related. We'll have guest speakers, and maybe we'll talk about things that we're doing with the pathways that we're doing, and maybe have some really great shares of testimonials that we have, and we have tons of them. But then the share good, which is going to be next week. So next week will be our share good, talk. It's going to be private. So think about the whole brand. Feel good, share good. Feel good, share good. Tonight is a feel good event. So we're public. We're live. Next week, we're not going to be live. Next week is going to be recorded, but it's going to be contained inside our community. If we can set it up properly, we'll go live inside the community. And the private community. So it's not going to be out there for you to go look at, because then we're able to talk about the things that we want to talk about. We want to share those testimonials, those incredible stories, those incredible videos that we've been receiving over the last few years. We want to be able to have those topics of conversations. We want to be able to talk about things that we are too afraid to talk about. And that's what we're going to be doing inside that talk. So that's next week. We're going to navigate and share some of those testimonials that you probably haven't even seen. And then that's what I want to do next week, is just resurrect some of the great work that this community has done. So does that make sense, everybody? So every Tuesday, same Zoom, good health talks, except the topics are going to change. So I just want to get you guys ready to be on the Zoom. So you're not always going to see me go live every Tuesdays. Every second Tuesday, you'll see me go live. Okay? All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is this whole knowing your pathway, and by the way, I'm a little bit biased because yes, I know Georgie's here. She's in the Caribbean. She's in DR right now. I found my healing in the Caribbean, and I just felt it, the blue sea is very tranquil, and I'm very much into rainbows, and I just thought, there's no dandelions here on the island, but I'm going to mix the two as far as I'm concerned, and anyway, knowing your pathway is really about rooting your experience. So these pathways are developed based on real participant journeys. So when you see the website and you have a look at the stories of hopes, these are people in our community that have had some extremely amazing experiences, and we are continuing to evolve. So right now, based on feedback from everybody and observation, we're continually going to be moving ahead and designing more pathways, more programs as you come along. It's all about building a rhythm, but it all starts with the reset first. And then we're going to be adding more cadences to the rhythm. So this is the first access route to get in. But it's really about, having dedicated team members that are unique based on what they've gone through. And right now we have somebody testing out our new vegan program. So I'm really interested to hear feedback on the vegan program on how they do. But based on their feedback and, modifications and we will then roll it out based on what they've learned. Okay. Because it's not a one-size-fits-all program. Each pathway is going to be, customized to you. So what I mean by that is you may not necessarily have access to what we have access to if you're based in the North American market. But hey, guess what? We may be able to offer a modification based on a recipe that we may have. We have juice recipes that can fill in the void, but those recipes are only available inside the community. there may be some suggestions based on products that you don't necessarily can access because you don't live in that country that has it available. But guess what? There may be modifications based on something that we are aware of because of what we've gone through. And there is a basic substitution that could be modified. But somebody may also have allergies, right? So each person has to go through a coach in order for them to understand what their limitations are, but also give feedback. And remember, you are your own advocate and you own the process yourself, but it's all natural solutions. And at least this way, you have an opportunity to go in and educate it before you just sort of, watch the latest YouTube trend and hope for the best. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be opening up the website soon, but basically I want to walk you through where you start, the initial gateway for new members to get oriented, explore the pathways you can navigate and have a look at through. But I want you to take some time to meet some of our good coaches. Some of them are on the call tonight. And read the real stories. These are real stories, and we're still developing this site. It's been a labor of love for the last few weeks. I've been I wasn't able to talk because I had an injury, but I've been working on this, and it's from feedback from the community, and we are going to evolve on this, just so you know. But I invite each and every one of you to join the community. If you have questions or you're not sure if you can or you're not, reach out to myself and Claudia, because we want to make sure that we can give you guys access to what we have. However, there may be some, little roadblocks along the way, and we'll make sure we overcome those objections. So I'm going to now just go through a little bit of presentation. So let me just go through and show you. This is our new website. Does everybody see the website? Okay. So right now, if you go to feelgoodagainreset.com, this you can also view it on mobile. I did get some feedback from some of our members about, some of the text was too small, and remember, I'm not a web developer. I'm doing the best I can, but definitely once we progress and we develop, we can actually do a lot more, as we grow. But they're basically, this is just the home page, and if you navigate through, it talks a little bit about, who we are, the natural first way to explore feeling good again. But when you go through, I don't have to go through all the navigation of it, but it explains the three pathways that we offer right now. But again, there's modifications based on the perfect person. So why would somebody want to do a reset? Like really, like it's not just about weight loss. It's about, eliminating toxins. It's about cleansing your system. Is actually adding increased nutrition into your system, helping you be your more optimal self so that you're ready to receive your targeted supplement program that you may needing to be adding in to your regime. So it's basically that's where we start. But we right now are like, for instance, starting next week, a few of us are going to do a rainbow reset. I'm going to do 7 days, Claudia did 10 days, where it was all liquid, no soups, no broths, just all liquid, very simple, powder go, water, powder go, a couple of capsules here, powder go. And I know I did it for 14 days and I released 17.5 pounds in 14 days. And I took a few weeks off and now I'm going to go do another week next week. Claudia did it for 10 days. She had great results. I know Rita recently just did it herself. But we always recommend, a full body reset for somebody brand new because it takes 21 days for you to overcome a habit, right? And you really do need to, if you're really looking at, starting fresh and getting your system at optimal level, a full body reset is basically the one that's recommended. And that is based on the learnings and education from, what we learned from Dr. Ronnie. And there's more about her contribution and what she's offered in terms of our education as well. But there's many of us that have, chosen to go with having food. And this is a great system. It's a kit that's amazing for gut biome reset. And it's food-based pathway, it's high fiber focused, and you can explore a little bit more about these. So I don't want to go through all the pages with you, but I do want to show some real people stories, okay? And I have a whole site that's just all stories and all videos that we've tried to archive as much as possible. So, for instance, you hear Rita's story that released 55 pounds and has been on a trajectory of just consistent health since I've met her. And a little bit about her story, but she started off with a Digest for Life reset system. I wasn't going to go all in and do the 28 days. She wanted food. Give me food. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go jump in and not have food. So she did it. And then she moved on to something else. So this is a little bit of a story. You can read more. And then Cora's story. Cora, released 47 pounds. She started off, doing a modified version, but based on the coaching she received, and now she helps coach others emotionally with our team. Okay, she's our emotional detox therapist. And we have Tammy. I don't know if Tammy's on the call tonight, but Tammy is one of our participants. But she's also somebody that I seek out as one of our referred practitioners. She's a diabetic clinic RN nurse, and she advises people on diabetic consultations and pathways for them. And she herself released 38 pounds in 2 months of doing the program. So these are great stories. And remember, these were all done naturally. These are not done with, injecting peptides, or we do work with a natural peptide within our mechanism, but it's all natural. Everything we do is natural. Everything is done in a process and a system. But I just want to show you that there's more stories of hope, a little bit about my story. And we talk about the path of the founder access. By the way, it's $44 right now. For those that had done the original program, it was $1,500 when we first introduced what we're doing today. So if you're part of the community and you're a friend of mine right now, or somebody has done the program in the past, or you're a friend of a friend from this community, you have access to the community for $44. And there's a reason why we have that $44. There's it's a secret number that we have, but it may go up to $444 soon. We don't know. We're just going to test it out and see how it works. But basically, when we first launched this, and some of our members who were in this community remember paying a very high $1,500 to access what we have today. Okay, but we have even better tools and support now because we've consolidated and increased some of our pathways and programs, and we have a larger community than we did when we first started out. So going through, when you start the program, you will start here, and we invite everybody to take the free pathway finder. It is a quiz. It's like a 2 to 3 minute quiz, and it helps you before you even put in your email for further contact. You'll get a result about what pathway is chosen for you based on what you input into the questionnaire. Now, once you fill it in, somebody from the team will contact you within 24 to 48 hours to get back to you, to maybe help you navigate you to the pathway that you should be looking at doing. But most important thing that you need to do, after we talk about which pathway you've chosen, you can go back and look at what these pathways are all about. There's more details about them, okay? After you've done the quiz, we talk about the community, a little bit more about what the community is, and then you can access the community, join the community if you choose to do so. But we do recommend that you take some time to navigate and watch the stories of hope. So these are just some of our stories of hope. A lot of you have met Helena, incredible. Her daughter, actually, I might be adding to this reel. She released like 20, I think she released 20 pounds in 21 days. I can't remember, Gabriella. Recently did the program, and she had incredible results. Claudia, she did one of our programs, released 28 pounds in 21 days, incredible. And if you watch her videos, so it's not just about, the pictures, it's listening to the stories. So some of the written stories are here, another more feature stories are here. But what I do recommend is you watch the videos, listen to them talking about their stories of hope. So we have quite a few video archives in here. And if you are a previous member or somebody that have gone through one of our programs, you're invited to share your story. So we will take your information, you can take your videos, share your before and afters if you want to, and we'll add them to our archive. So, like share your feeling, you just have to type in your information and we'll definitely add that to our storyboard. We want this to grow. This is about feeling good again and sharing what we know naturally. There are solutions that are out there naturally. So let's just help people understand that. So I really want to now just talk about, the people behind the scenes that have helped us get this here. So when we invite you to talk to a coach, it's complimentary for them. They're going to contact you. You can pick and choose who you want to talk to. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to talk to me. You don't have to talk to Dodie if you don't want to me. We were also having an opportunity to speak to, a coach that speaks Spanish or English. We want to open up our coaches to an international community. So eventually what we want to do is have coaches from all over every market, that can service our clients. And in that case, what will happen is that, as a rule, you have to have done the program. You have to coach somebody in the program. You have to meet the ethics of the team. You have to be part of the community to meet the criteria. And so you could very well become one of our coaches, but you have to obviously live and breathe it in order to repeat it and serve others on what we're doing. So let me just explore the coach directory. But let me just explain what a good coach is. Because somebody said to me, I don't want a good coach. I want a great coach. Why would I choose a good coach? Right? So I just want to say a good coach is more than someone who has learned about wellness from the outside. They are a trusted member of the Feel Good Share Good community who combines firsthand reset experiences, practical program, knowledge, and genuine commitment to supporting others. Our featured good coaches have personally participated in Feel Good Again reset programs. Many have experienced meaningful transformations of their own and also bring established experience in specific wellness modalities, education, professional services, or community leadership. They understand the journey because they have lived it, not simply learned about it. Good represents the community and values they belong to. So good to me is when I talk about a good person, we don't always talk about somebody being a great person, but I want a good person. I want somebody that's deep in the heart, has willingness to support by loving what we're doing. And that's what a good coach is to me. So they can help you understand and compare the reset pathways. They can prepare for you and help navigate you through selected pathway. They are not here to give you medical advice. So in some cases, a good coach will recommend or lead you to a practitioner that might be able to answer some of your medical questions. I just want to make sure that's clear. But they're there to help you to stay encouraged and engaged. And each one of us has a different skill set to bring to the table, which is really, really cool. So I'll show you my little story later, but here's some of our coaches. Some of you have already met many of them. So here's Dodie. Dodie's based out in Moose Jaw. She's actually got 16 years of experience. You can actually click on here, look at her profile. You can book time with her, connect with Dodie on LinkedIn. You can check her out. I love this picture of her with her juices. But you can hear her stories inside the community, okay? We also have Claudia. Everybody knows Claudia, right? So Claudia, wellness coach and product specialist. She's the girl that we talked to. We look at, okay, I don't understand this ingredient. Can you tell me tell me more about this, right? So she's our expert. She speaks Spanish. So she's in Fort Erie, Canada. We have a lot of Canadians here. We also have Cora, but you can learn more about Claudia. I actually love this picture of her and Waldo because they do this passionately together. It's not just about her, is about the family dynamic. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. Typically somebody's gone through these movements, they bring their whole family with me. My husband's very private, but just so you're aware. But him and I did the program together, and now as an advocate, and now is actually, believe it or not, he's building out a website for the Caribbean market that talks about what we know. Okay, not this website, I did this, but he's building out his own. So we're now joining forces. I never thought we'd ever become health advocates. He's, based on our backgrounds, but once you've gone through and feel good again, it becomes a family mission. not just your mission. So I invite you guys, if you're struggling in your family, look into these options, not just for you, but for those that love you. And then we have Cora. Cora is our emotional detox therapist. She's been missed in our calls lately, but she's got a great wellness story. You can see her before and after with her. But, I just want you to navigate, take some time, get to know the coaches, get to know who they are. Rita, oh my gosh, Rita, she does understands who she is, but you know that Rita is a U.S. Air Force veteran. She is a 200-hour yoga teacher. She's Iris yoga night guided meditation teacher. She has got more accolades than you can think of, but she doesn't go out there and tell everybody. So she's another person that's highly dedicated to what she does. And like, look at it before and after. Look at this. When we first met Rita, this is how I met Rita when I first met her. And look at her now. So I just wanted you to be aware of what we have. And on that note, yes, you met me. Everybody knows who I am. You can book a conversation with me. You can find me on LinkedIn. But you can also like see my before and after. And I know Dr. Ronnie's in the house over here, but look at my before and after. But you can also watch my story. My story where I released 31 pounds in 21 days is the day my life changed. It's a video on here. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you can hear it when I play it, but we'll see, okay? Let me see.
Hi, everybody. This is day one of our detox, 21 days. Every day I'll just give you a little video of my experience. I'm really looking forward to this. The idea of losing 21 pounds of Jillian is going to be scary, but it's much needed. Gone through a lot this last year. Had broke my shoulder. I'm just getting over that. Lots of inflammation. This is a great opportunity for me to get back to the old Jillian, the one that was 21 pounds lighter. This is going to be a fun experience. And I'm here with some amazing friends and coworkers who are doing the exact same things, all on our journey for wellness. Hi, I'm Jillian Murray from Jim Lupton brand team. A few weeks ago, we were up at Martha's Vineyard to see one of our clients, Dr. Ronnie, at our Martha's Vineyard Spa Retreat. We were able to experience her program that she has to help people get rid of toxins out of their system. And I was very fortunate that this came at a great time in my life where I was dealing with a lot of inflammation. I've had historically been told I've had autoimmune diseases and that it just, that's just the way it is and I have to deal with it. However, after going through a program and having released so much weight and water retention and inflammation, I've had to now realize that there was an underlying cause to some of my inflammation, which was an unfortunate jaw infection that was eating away at the bone in my jaw. It is now cleared up. However, if I had continued to just accept the inflammation, I may not be here today. It could have gone septic, it could have killed me. And I am very, very fortunate that I was able to meet Dr. Ronnie and she saved my life. Bye, everybody.
Okay, so go back to that. So that was just, I just thought you want to hear the people stories behind the pictures. It's not always about the picture because anybody now in AI can share a picture and say that they did that and the other, right? So that's me sitting with Dr. Ronnie. I remember this because it was September 11th. Was it September 11th? No, it wasn't. No, I can't. For some reason, 9/11 was if that was in our discussion that we had. But I remember sitting down with you, and that was me when I returned home when I put on the same shirt. Like just crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, but I do want to like highlight that if you want to learn more about our inspiration, these programs are based on the education and service of what we learned with Dr. Ronnie. So there's a picture of myself and her again, a little bit more about her background and who she is, and also, her book, her link to her book. So this is a must read if you're interested in understanding, why it's important now more than ever to be familiar with how to release toxins in a safe manner. And then talking about our high five educational framework. And I know she's going to be writing another book soon. There's more information coming in and information about our healed retreats and all the links for her. You can learn more about who she is. But I just want you guys to remember why we did this. And I'll just close the screen now. Stop the share. Okay. Go back to stop the share. Go back to the actual video. So on that note, I think I'm going to now just open it up for some questions. And, I know Dr. Ronnie's here as well. So maybe I can bring her up too, and some of the coaches as well. So feedback from the coaches before we bring up Dr. Ronnie. Claudia, do you have some thoughts you want to share?
I think it looks fantastic. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Wow. Yeah, no, I think it's great that Jillian has been able to finally land everything in that beautiful package so that we are able to, like she always said, get people to the place that they need to be so that they can, walk that journey. And I love that she put that rainbow and the sand, because one of the inspirations that, Jillian had for this new program is that we're always looking for that treasure at the end of the rainbow, right? And so for those of you that haven't heard before the why did she use the rainbow, it's just wonderful that we have such a treasure in looking for the greatest treasure of it all, which is regaining our health back. So I love it, Jillian. I love following the rhythm, the 7 colors. But what I love the most is that every time we have been doing a program, it's proven, it works. We have mostly a 99% rate of success, and not only success because of the drop of numbers, but success because people are happy with what they did and being part of this community. So you've landed beautifully this plane, Jillian, into this amazing road of people, walking that gold sand. And I love it, Jillian. You've done such a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. And any of the other coaches want to come up and just give it some motivation? Maybe Sonia, I'll bring you up too. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Jillian. I just want to tell you that, your vision of community and getting us together and bringing all our forces, right? Meaning that every one of you has something very special and unique that connects you to somebody else. And for you to give the opportunity to share the opportunity with other folks about what Jillian has she's done all the work, right? She did all the work for us. Why? Because she wanted to make sure that you had the support that you needed, that you had the tools to be able to help those people. And basically they can guide themselves too with these tools, and you can help them at the same time. So I'm just blown away with how you take the community to such a higher level, Jillian. And truly, you guys know it's not about what the product is. It's about what the community made. You can have a house and you can have people, but if they're not connected in some kind of way, it's not going to feel like a home. And this is where the community meets. So I just thank you, Jillian, for creating that thing that's sometimes just an idea in people's minds, but here it's a reality. It is a community. It's a gathering of folks with like minds to want to make the world a better place to feel healthy in. So thank you. And Dr. Ronnie, you're the inspiration, obviously, for some of the stuff that's here, especially with the juicing, bringing that to the world. Dr. Ronnie, I just thank you for that. Thank you for being willing to share all your knowledge, because you're going to see many, many lives even more touched now than just the ones that are able to go to the island. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sonia. I really appreciate your insight. And one of the things I would highlight that what Sonia does, Sonia is a health and wellness benefit counselor, right? So she's also got just securing our license for insurance. And so within our community, we're going to be able to support you or introduce you to others that can maybe help you with certain aspects of or navigating some of the roadblocks that they might have, like, oh, I can't afford this. Well, did you know your insurance might cover it? Like, what do I have to do that? Okay, well, guess what? We have somebody in our team that knows how to do that. Somebody might be struggling with lymphatic, drainage. But guess what? We have Casey on our team, who's a massage therapist, that talks about that. There are things within our community, and there may be a practitioner like Dr. Ronnie that you need to have a consult with. So guess what? She takes telehealth services, so you can just book a call with Dr. Ronnie, right? So Dr. Ronnie, I know you and I have not been able to get together because you were so freaking busy, but I wanted you to, show up tonight and just, you also see the vision about what we're doing so that we can grow exponentially. Because my vision when I shared with this is that when I had this experience, it's like I wanted to get this out, and it's just slowly but surely but we need to be ready. And so I think the website there is open to anybody, regardless of who you are. No names on that really. Is about letting people in there to share the experience. But I have to give credit where credit is due. So Dr. Ronnie, that's why you have your own page on our community.
Oh, Julian, I love, 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 love your vision. I miss you all very much.
Yeah.
And I've been so busy. You're right. We just added a nonprofit part to our business because we see the need and we understand that so many people need what we're doing. They just can't afford it all the time. But when I look back at you right now, I see you absolutely, you guys look great, by the way. And I'm not kidding. You all look just great. It's not because I haven't seen you in a long time. This is because you look good. And I love the fact when you say feel good because the work that I'm doing now is very comprehensive. I'm doing a lot of cancer and autoimmune. And as you must know, on this island, there's a lot of Lyme disease. So, it gets very busy for me. However, I'm always thinking about how to keep in touch, how to help you guys, and how to make the vision on your part grow because we so need you, Jillian. With everything that I do, people always go back to, I just want to feel good. I just need community. I just want help. Who can I talk to? And I think your vision is going to get bigger and bigger because the world needs you. It's getting sicker and sicker.
Mm.
That's why I don't sleep at night.
No, I'm with you. And that's one of the reasons why we have the two different communities for there's a public message, Dr. Ronnie, is what we can say, right? There's things that we can say without, fear. But then there's where we need to have those conversations, like what you're
Yes,
dealing with, those conversations where the clients are coming to you, about things that we're afraid to talk about, and they're confused. So that's
exactly.
why we have to have those conversations. That's why we started that community. Remember the share good,
That's right.
and
Mhm.
that's why we have those private talks. And by the way, some of those private talks, Dr. Ronnie, are still available to be viewed inside that community. So they're not out there on YouTube. They're actually inside the private community so that people can hear about things that we can't talk about, right?
That's
So
right.
everything that you're having people walk through your door with right now, which I know, and that's why I know you're busy. But we want to make sure that we can help you. But you and I both know if your body's not ready to receive because it's so full of toxins and so full of duck, the inflammation,
Mhm.
if you're not starting there, no matter what you do, you're not going to receive it, right?
That's right. That's right.
So
Because it's a
yeah.
mind body connection. We say it all the time, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that your body will believe what your mind tell it. And that's why I feel good again. We should constantly say that to everyone. I know you want to feel good again, but you got to release the toxicity that's in the body that's getting away. It's in the way of the vascular flow. That's why it doesn't reach the brain if you don't have oxygen. If you have a lot of toxicity there, how can oxygen reach the brain, and how can you feel good?
Correct. And it's funny that you mentioned the brain because this reset program, yes, is about releasing the toxins. Yes, it's about cleansing your system in a gentle way. That's the one thing that you always talked about, Dr. Ronnie. This is not a harsh detox where people are assuming that they're going to get flushed out like Drano. It's not like that. It's about giving your body rest and
Mm,
allowing your digestive system time to heal. But when we said reset, and I like how what you just said, feel good again, reset. That's the pathway that we have right now. But there's 8 pathways I'm going to be doing. So this is the first of many. The next one that we're going to be talking is about recall, the brain. It's going to be focusing on the brain health, neuroscience, and like the brain health. That is something that I'm very passionate about. As somebody having gone through a brain injury, you know, that'll be the next pathway, of how can we help somebody with the brain health. Then there'll be another pathway about how can we help somebody. You know, um, There's refocus. Everything's about the 7 R's. Remember the 7 R's that we had
yes,
talked about years ago? When
right.
designing this, I have a whole flow and it's all about the rainbow, but it all starts with the reset. But if you want to get in the community and you want to be part of it, get in now because the pricing is going to go up. but we need to have you in there. So be kind of like our guinea pigs, our founders for now. But you're not guinea pigs because this is 5 years in the running, but it's also how many years of Dr. Ronnie's knowledge of you doing this for everybody. The only difference is that I've created a community, and that's where it's going to be. We do have, just on a side note for those watching us live, some of us are actually doing a mini reset next week. And it's a liquid program. It's all liquid and no soups for those that just want a quick fix and they just want to get into that bikini and for the end of the summer beach fest. Perfect opportunity. I did the 14 days with at least 17 and a half pounds. Claudia, can you just quickly maybe share your story and maybe Dr. Ronnie too, of what you experienced? Because I don't think Dr. Ronnie's heard the feedback from the Rainbow Reset. If that's okay with you.
Yes. So when I was discussing it with Jillian, I said there's a lot of people that actually cannot commit to the 21. And yes, we know that you've taught us that's not a complete detox, but I said there's a lot of people that want to do it, but then they feel guilty that they just kind of cheated, let's put it this way. And so what happens then that they actually were quitting. They were like, oh, I don't want to see you. And then they would hide and not pick up the phone. They're like, oh, I couldn't commit to the 21 days. So we went over, okay, what do we do? Let's just make this easy. Let's make this a journey where people actually can just jump into the 7, then jump into the 14. Okay, jump into the 10. Hey, you know what? Even if you jump into 3 days, but do something about it, right? Because we kept seeing people that were just feeling guilty about it. And I said to Jillian, okay, you know what? I'll do the 14. And what I'll do is I'll just, create something new where I'll still follow the flow that we have now with our new 14-day. But what if there's a little change and then I don't feel so guilty? What if we don't create that guilt in ourselves and that heaviness? Because that way we are actually creating a rhythm for our life. And I think that's where it was about. It was about, as long as I don't feel guilty, I'm doing what I can with what I have. And if I do that, then I can jump into what if in 2 months or 3 months, I do another and then I do an extra day or things like that. I was just like, how do we get this knowledge to people? And so that's how we said, okay, you want to do the reset with the box with For Life? That's great. You want to do 14 days or you want to do the, I call it the big one, the 21 with our 7, which is our Dr. Ronnie longevity detox. And so I did it and it worked. Because I believe that my body was already on a rhythm and the rhythm was going up, going detox, going up, going in. And so that rhythm, what created was that for some reason, and I've been logging this, Dr. Ronnie, was interesting. I don't know if it was something in my menopause. It was something. I am always at 135, 140. I do the detox. I drop to 135 or less. I feel super happy when I'm in that mode. Then I go, and then for some reason in 3 months, something happened and jumped up to 155. And I said, what's going on with my body? It's not normal. Like I've been following my body since I met you. I bought my scale. I know my rhythm, and something happened that it went up. But when I did the reset with the 14 days where I wasn't, okay, I gotta do the 21, and I obsess over it. I said, I'm gonna do 14, and hey, you know what? It's gonna be fine. I'll do my juices and I'll just be happy. Like I'll just feel relaxed that I'll do what I can. Because on day 3, I actually was gonna stop because I ate something and I said, no, I won't stop. I'll just continue. And then what I'll do is I'll extend it. And I did. And with that, I was able to lose 14 pounds in total, but it kind of balanced back to 10 pounds. So I finally went from 155 to 145. But the great thing is I'm stable at the 145. So that peaked without telling me it was coming, which I don't know what it was. It's now what I call under control with that new reset. And I'm now going into what Jillian and I call, I forgot what the name it was, but what was it, Jillian, that we're going to call it? It's like a speed run. Like, we're going to do smaller ones, see if I can slowly drop back again, another 5 or 10, released 5 or 10 pounds of inflammation, go back to that happy, 135 because my body's changing. I met you 4 years ago. I wasn't even in menopause at that time. So it's been a great experience. But the most important thing, it's the learning that we have had from Jillian and you throughout the years, because each of us is able now to manage our own bodies. And if we need a 21, we now know I'm going to do a
Yeah.
full 21. But if we need a 14, I'm going to do a 14. So
Thank you, Claudia. And I think Dr. Ronnie, just so, because we're going to end up closing out for tonight, but I think the big life lesson is to not stress about it.
Oh, thank you,
Right.
Jillian, for saying that, because I think a lot of times people get stuck because their cortisol levels go up. Cortisol levels it's a toxin if you have too much of it. If you think about it too much, if you just let go and relax, I think about a lot of times the weight comes off a lot easier that way. Also, there's no stone that says you absolutely have to do 21 days all the time. Yes, it's okay to do 21 days to get a complete body detox and all your organs are being reached. But there's many people that just do 14 days. There's many people that do 7 days a quarter. That works for them. So whatever it is that works for you, some people can't do 21 days because they have a health condition. So I want everybody to just feel relaxed with the process and just do it. I got to get that t-shirt. Relax with the process.
Yeah,
And just do it.
relax, just do it. Like
Yeah.
I know we should come up with some of those, and I think on that note, for it to end tonight's call, it's just show up in the community, join the community, find your coach that talks your rhythm, that helps you understand the rhythm, and just relax, like enjoy, have some fun. But the education is the key, and the key is just doing it. Like just try it, and you're not going to be starving yourself because you're going to have more nutrition than you can ever think of, like with what we offer you. The lifestyle skills you learn is for life. It's not just for now. It's not just so you can get into that bikini. It is a lifesaver. Like you saw a quick journey of my experience, but I always go back to knowing what I need to do, because, and it's not about just a detox. It's not just about a cleanse. It's not about that. It's about awareness, being in a community of awareness of like-minded people on the same pathway as you. When I say pathway and you have a good coach, it's not just one people, it's the community holding each other's hand. So if you can't reach one of us, there's somebody there so that you know that you're on the same pathway. You're only the average of the 5 people you hang out with, right? So why not be part of that? I'm on an island in the Caribbean, and yes, I chose the rainbow because the rainbow was always the pot, like the beautiful moment after a downpour. So I had a downpour, but I had a beautiful moment right after that downpour. And it's something I look forward to now, right? I look forward to the rainbow. So that's what I look at it. And the rainbow and it's not just a symbol, it's a sequence, it's a rhythm, you know,
Right.
right? Dr. Ronnie talks red, yellow,
Right.
green. I talk white, red, yellow, green. Because I start off with, another product in the day, in the beginning, in our new program, right? But everything's a rainbow and it's very simple. It's a rhythm.
Right.
And you follow that and it's easy. Like it's so much easier now in my life now because I know what to do. But thank you, Dr. Ronnie, for being here tonight. And any final words from you before we close the Zoom? Because we are live right now.
Well, I'm so happy to be on, to tell you the truth. And I love, love, love what you're doing. I can't wait to go over your website in detail. You'll do amazing work. And I believe that the world needs you. The world needs us, actually, because every day I wake up, there's just another story I need to tell.
Yes.
So thank you all. It's great seeing every last one of you. I miss you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I'm just going to close the live. Rexy, you can close the live and the recording. And don't remember, next week we have our Share Good talk at 8 p.m. But don't forget to go to feelgoodagainreset.com. Check out the website. Pick your coach. Do the pathway test. See what it says. But get in at $44. Like you cannot be bet. Like this is the access to the other resources you have inside that community is worth way more than that. So just so you know, okay? So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. So we'll end the live now on the recording. Okay, we